Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Patrons, how are you?
In case of emergency,
yeah.
Release to public.
Hello, patrons. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for your continued support. We really appreciate you, and we love you. So we're doing a special episode, and this was suggested to me by our patrons in Australia for your reference podcast. We're going to talk about LuLaRoe.
LuLaRoe.
Oh, yeah, and it's Deanne Stedman and Mark Stedman. Those are the main people.
The
Stedmans. Do you guys know what LuLaRoe is?
Are they international or they're just national?
I believe they're just national in the United States.
Okay.
I remember the first time I was introduced to LuLaRoe, like two people came at me and they were like, hey, you should host a party at your house. I was like, who the fuck are you? And what do you want? These are people I knew. Right.
Well, you said, who the fuck are you?
Like, why do you want to host a party at... Well, this one woman, she was an older woman, and we used to play softball. I played softball with, like, her daughter and her husband and her. And so she hit me up, and she was like, hey, you know, would you be interested in, you know, hosting a party, a LuLaRoe party? And I was like, okay, sure. And it was 2017, because we were living on Firebush, and it was like, right.
Was it 2017?
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to, that was the one you had? Or was it?
That was the one I had at my house.
Right, I remember that party. Because I bought a couple of pieces.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it wasn't 2017, because Brittany was born in 2017.
Yeah.
It was like 2015.
Yeah, because I was like, no.
No.
Because, yeah, I remember we went, it was, you know, on Firebush, but I feel like I had just... like either like
Grace was like one.
Yeah, like I just had her or something.
You're about to get your snapback.
And I was like, I need some like clothes that aren't like that are kind of like loose fitting. That's not.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, you know, because I remember the lady was like, oh yeah, I like them because they're not super short and they're not, you know, they don't show a lot. Like they're not revealing. That's what she said. She's like, I like them because they're not really revealing. And she lived in Cal City.
Yeah, that's exactly who. That's her.
And so, and I was like, I remember that party, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of LuLaRoe, because you kept calling it LuLaRoe.
Yeah, that's what I was calling it. Well, whatever.
And I was like, no, it's LuLaRoe.
Mind your business. Just come to my party. And you know, I was like, okay, this is interesting. You know, all these stretchy pants. That's what's up. And then
stretchy pants.
All these stretchy pants. And then I don't know if she came at me like join or anything, but I know maybe she did come at me like, oh, you know, would you be interested in doing this? And I was like, yeah, no, not for me. And then another friend of mine hosted a party at her house, Christy, and she like got all into it and she was like super hype about it. And at first it was a lot of fun, like hosting events and having people at your house and shopping and stuff, but that shit gets fucking exhausting.
And, you know, well, okay, so when you had the one at your house, I was just like, damn, she's carrying all these clothes.
Yeah.
Like, all these clothes, and she had, you know, the portable closet, and I was just like,
and
that's a lot of shit to have to, like, lug around.
It is a lot of shit to have to lug around.
Because when I was doing freaking, you know, the body shop, I was like, this is a lot of fucking shit. And it was just like body stuff, you know? So clothes and the closet, like literally you're carrying closets around.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You're carrying a boutique with you everywhere to people's houses. And you have to buy all the stuff. You have to buy all the clothes. Up front. And then hope to sell it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's not even a thing where you can order. You know how like most of the companies, or you can order, there's a catalog and you can order it.
Right.
You don't have to have it on hand. This shit you had to have on hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was like, okay, whatever, this is interesting. The people that introduced me to the company, like, I felt like left the company immediately, or a year or two in, they didn't stick around very long.
Yeah.
I remember Christy was getting rid of her stretchies and was like offering them at like $5. I was like, okay, I'll take them. I bought a bunch and I gave them to my friends. I gave some to Rupa and Ashley and stuff.
Yeah, she was doing it while I was working at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I remember when she had her launch party.
Yeah.
Went to her launch party. But she's like, Chrissy hosted a lot of stuff. She
did
all
Scentsy
kinds of
too.
things.
Yeah.
Scentsy, she did the lip sense. She did
Mm-hmm.
all that. But I feel like she was like real like into it with the LuLaRoe because she would be posting every day in new outfits, you know, like by
modeling
this
her outfits.
Yeah,
yes.
like the looks they put together or whatever. And like, you know, she was like all into it. And I remember I had ordered some stuff and I went to pick it up. And she was on her computer trying to hit that buy button. And, like, the shit just kept selling out before, you know, a lot of the representatives or whatever they call themselves, consultants, could get them.
Retailers.
Yeah, and I was just like, dang. She was like, I have to sit here and click and hope I get. And I was just like, damn, girl. Damn. That's a lot of work just to be glued to your... Because the new shit would come out and it would be gone.
Well, lo and behold, anytime she's ordering something for her inventory, the person, her sponsor, the person that brought her on, is getting paid. No, it's getting commission.
Oh, yeah, that's how they work.
Yeah.
That's how they all work.
Yeah. Let's get into the documentary. On Amazon, if you want to check it out, check it out. We're introduced to Mark and Deanne Stedman. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Deanne was a single mother. She had 7 kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
She had 5 and then had 2 more with Mark?
I don't think they had any more children together. They were just a blended family and they were adopting kids.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
She liked to adopt children.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, they're LDS and so, you know, they like to have big families.
Okay. I would be like, oh no, I need some quiet time. There's too many of you guys.
Too many fuckers. Oh, them boys. Anyway, go ahead. Because them boys, the 2 sons that were in the business.
Yeah.
Oh, they were pieces of work. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, we're introduced to her. We find out that she's like one of 11 children and she's like a twin and her twin were like surprise babies. So surprise. Mom's like 100 and she's having twins. But whatever. She's a single mom. She's like raising these families or raising her kids. But then she was saying that like how like she had to like buy burgers and fries and like have everyone share. But then she says she meets Mark on an airplane flying somewhere. So I'm like, okay, so were you like dirt poor, but you're flying for work? Like this is what I was just thinking. I was just like, okay, you guys are sharing burgers and fries, but you're flying somewhere? And Mark was on a plane and then that's how they met. And then he was one of those devoted Mormon people, which is fine. His father was a salesman, right? Or something like that. An entrepreneur.
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur.
He's an entrepreneur. Oh, so Deanne says how she got into the business. She didn't have a lot of money. And so she would pretty much go to the swap meet and buy a bunch of dresses on the cheap.
And sell them in her trunk.
Well, first she passed them off like with her kids and nobody noticed that they were like off-brand or anything. They thought they were just, you know, high-quality things. And then she started buying them and then started selling them from her trunk, having dress parties.
Right.
Which, hey, you know, if I can get like a $50 dress for $10, that's the deal, right? Why not? So she started doing it that way.
Oh, they're not, you call them Stidman. It's Stidham.
Oh, Stidham. The Stidhams. Well, whatever. So she starts selling dresses that she's getting from vendors. Then her daughter was like, hey, Mom, can you make me a maxi skirt? A maxi skirt. Mm-hmm. So then she starts slanging maxi skirts.
Listen, I can make a maxi skirt. Can I start? I'm going to start sewing shit too and selling it.
I mean, I feel
Actually,
like
no,
if you're going to consumers, if you're going with a product and you're selling it and you're hustling, like she said, I wasn't really good at math, but I knew what was in my bank account and I knew what needed to be in my bank account. Like, she's a hustler. I respect that. I respect that 100%. Mm-hmm. But then once, you know, she's having these parties and selling maxi skirts and then people are, you know, getting word of mouth about, you know, what she's doing, she brings on somebody, right? And then that's when she officially becomes like LuLaRoe.
She named she decided, okay, my daughter likes this skirt, or I made this skirt for my daughter. I can sell these skirts. So she started with maxi skirts.
Right.
She started selling maxi skirts. And then her and her husband decided to come up with the name of this company, LuLaRoe, after the grandkids.
Right, but then I'm just saying, like, business just started picking up. People were just getting really excited. And
people
then
were wanting to buy. People were buying shit from her. They were buying stuff from her. And then that was when she went to the lady, I guess one of the chicks that was buying clothes from her and was like, hey.
She's like, my friends heard about you. Let me see what you got. And she's like, I could take some of this stuff. And she's like, well, let me just sell it to you. I'll sell it to you for $10. You sell it for $25. Because then they make $15.
Okay.
She's like, I'll sell it to you wholesale, $10 an item per maxi skirt. You sell it for $25, then you profit $15.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then, like, I'm sure
That's
this
150% markup.
But I'm sure with this first woman, she wasn't like, hey, let me sell you 400 maxi skirts.
No, of course not. Absolutely not. She was probably like, here's 10. I have 10. You can buy them. Mm-hmm. And then you go ahead and do what you do.
Do what you do and flip that. Make that bread. Which is a great business idea. So this is kind of like, how it started. But I love that both of them, her and her husband, were both like in Amway. They both like tried to sell like Amway.
Yeah.
And so they kind of knew the mechanics or the structure of the perfect business.
Multi-level marketing business. That's what it is. That's what they aimed to be, a multi-level marketing business.
You think that's what they aimed to be?
Yes. That's what they did. Because if I'm telling you to sell something, I'm giving you something to sell, you're buying it directly from me, and now you're going out and selling something, then you are, except for their thing is that, like with other MLMs, it wasn't multi-level, because then the other chicks, the people that were getting signed up, of course, had to buy the dresses or the skirts or whatever the items were from John and Nancy or whatever the fuck their names are.
From LuLaRoe Corporate.
And that's how
John and Nancy.
That's how it began.
Deanne and Mark. Oh my God. I was like, who is John and Nancy?
Those were just two names I pulled out of there.
You're so funny. If that was their game plan, that's how it worked. And so as she's bringing on more consultants, like when people were like, hey, I'm interested, like how she flew out to like Washington to like meet that chick. I want to call her, or is it Ashley? Her name was Ashley something. The girl, the Hawaiian girl. Everybody was like so excited about her.
Everybody.
Because she was just a hustler.
Yeah, her and her husband. I mean, her husband wasn't involved, but yeah, it was her. And she was like,
She said she made like millions of dollars.
She did, because she was like literally like she was the first or the second consultant.
She was the third consultant.
But she, did what she had to do.
Right.
So
I like the fact that once they started their business, they were like, okay, I'm going to sell this product. I'm going to move this weight. I'm going to have these parties. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then once they started recruiting people, that's where they really started making the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Because if you're buying 500 skirts now they didn't say how they went from just being skirts to because then they became known for buttery soft leggings. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
So and that's what when I heard of LuLaRoe, all I kept hearing was buttery soft leggings, buttery soft leggings. And so their skirts, I had bought a skirt from your party. I bought a skirt. I don't know if I bought any leggings, and I think I might have bought a top. Mm-hmm. One of the, the tops that are named after women.
Like the Randys.
No, it wasn't a Randy.
Oh, I like a Randy.
But, I did buy a Randy, but I have I think about 8 LuLaRoe items at my house.
I've got more.
I know you do.
I've got more. Like I sent KT a picture of like my LuLaRoe pants. I was like, hey, check out my pants.
Oh yeah. And there's the ones with the lipsticks on them. Mm-hmm. There's on our Instagram, she commented, I like I like those pants or those leggings. Yeah, those are
LuLaRoe. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So it begins. So I think what happened is they grew really, really fast, but they really didn't have any like knowledge.
No. Or
direction. Maybe they needed a mentor or something.
I don't even think it's that. I think they were just getting greedy. I think immediately they were like dollar signs.
Yeah, cha-ching.
And yeah, because then stuff started getting, remember, okay, she's made the maxi skirt for her daughter.
Right.
At some point, they went to a manufacturer to get all this stuff. And like the tags on them would say made in Mexico, made in India, made in all kinds
Mm-hmm.
And then the tags also say, do not
Do not
machine
wash.
wash.
Do not dry.
Do not dry or you'll be sad.
Yes. And I remember I washed something and I was sad. I was like, oh, because the shit gets fucked up. Because as we learned in the documentary, there's a lot of things that are just like fucked up.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things, like supply and how they were storing things and like the materials that they were using.
Yeah, I think they went from high quality to getting cheap materials and doing things as cheaply as they can to save money to, you know, increase their dollars. Because how do you go from having buttery soft leggings to leggings that are ripping by just like
when your freaking your chub rub comes out? Like I can understand in jeans after my legs have been rubbing together for a long time and then it busts out.
Yeah, but that's years. That takes years. Like, I have a pair of jeans that I've bought right after I had Gracie that are just now starting to rip. Well, they're not just now. They're getting threadbare. They're like I can just tug and they'll go.
I know my Express jeans, they don't last long in these thighs when they're like the skinny jeans, the skinny pants.
Levi's
will last a lifetime.
Levi's, or they used to be. I haven't bought Levi's in years, but Levi's.
Who's wearing jeans these days besides you right now?
I wear jeans because I like jeans.
I love jeans too, but after being home for so long, I just want like comfy wear.
You know, jeans used to be cowboy pants. Like people didn't used to wear jeans, and then jeans became a fashion in the 60s. They became a fashion style because women didn't wear jeans.
They didn't wear pants.
Men didn't wear jeans. Well, they did, but they wore like capri pants.
Yeah,
and they wore in dresses, like, you know, older ladies. Like as the times went by, but denim was not a clothing staple until like the 70s. It was crazy.
I know that I used to live in jeans and those were my jam and I would like go on long drives with jeans on and Ashley was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you driving in these jeans? I'm like, because I'm comfortable. But now I realize I was just being a dummy and I like stretchy pants.
I mean, I do too. Like now, okay, so here's what's funny. KT, this is for you. She had posted on Twitter something about like, if you don't, what did she say? If you're wearing jeans at home, it was something crazy. I was like, but I do. Like, I wear jeans. That's just what I don't. And then I was like, you know what? I could change into some fucking lounge pants. Why not? Like, because you know how we used to like look down at people like who had on fucking like pajama, because we call them pajama pants. That's what they are. But they're lounge pants. They're sold as lounge pants, but I still don't go out in them pants. I'll wear leggings, but I won't wear those fluffy, you know, plushy pants outside.
Like this that I have on?
No, not those. That's velour.
This is velour.
I'm talking about the pajama, like the teddy bear, you know, plushy pants.
No, I mean, I think it's just a stigma in our head. Our head is just like, you're wearing pajamas and you don't leave your house in pajamas.
Exactly. Unless it's pajama day at school, which it was yesterday for the kids.
Well, it's today at Jamal's school. But no, I'm with you on that, like 100%. It's just like, jeans are amazing, but as we have gotten frumpy, fat, and lazy, I just can't wear jeans.
How dare you, sir?
I just can't do it. Frumpy, fat, and lazy. You walked in and oopsie daisy, it's a guest.
Ugh. But okay, so with the LuLaRoe, yeah, I feel like they recruited all these women. They recruited all these women. And the thing they were complaining about, like the women started to complain about, was that they couldn't get the products.
Well, they would just get anything. They were just like, oh, surprise! This is what you're going to get. You can only pick out your sizes and your styles.
I think that started, well, that must have been like toward the end, or not the end, but like toward later, because I remember they ordered stuff. They were picking out what they wanted, the patterns. Because remember, it was like they had, and some of them were hideous, these patterns. I remember, I was like, who the fuck would wear this? These are ugly. And their colors were ugly colors and ugly patterns. But when the holiday stuff came out, like the Halloween, I wanted those skeleton pants. They didn't have them in my size. You had some Halloween pants.
And I had this, like, I had the it wasn't. I had the one size. I should have got like the big and tall because the one size just hugs the bottom of my butt. It's weird.
Well, that's weird. Like fucking Sisters of the Traveling Pants or whatever. Like there's one size pants and then there's big and tall pants. What? The fuck are you talking about? See that, and that's weird. That's
well, obviously the sister of the Traveling Pants is not real.
no. I'm saying, how are they making one size and then they're making big and tall?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Ugh. Anyway.
Oh, Brandy doesn't like it.
I don't like that. That sizing chart is wrong.
It's very wrong. It's strange.
What if I weighed 325 pounds? Which pants would I get? Because I'm pretty sure the big and tall wouldn't work for me either. I need some extra larges.
I need some extra buttery soft pants.
Extra.
Give me the extra buttery soft.
Buttery
Soft pants. So as the business is growing out of control and consultants just continue to sign up, and when they would get a new retailer / consultant or someone to sell LuLaRoe, they would have to come out of pocket $5,000 to $10,000.
Seriously, what the fuck kind of damn bullshit ass startup ass cost is that for a damn MLM?
Yeah, $5,000 to $10,000 out of pocket.
Sell your breast milk? What?
Yeah.
How dare you? Sell your firstborn.
I don't know what they would do. I don't know. They could just, and then the one lady who like rose to the top and then said like just like destroyed her family. She got like a business loan.
Yes.
To do it. I had to really look at her situation like in a whole. Because I was like, bitch, you were making all this fucking money. You bought cars, you bought purses, you did this, you did that, and now you're telling me you're broke?
You went into debt.
Because she was putting everything on a credit card. Mm-hmm. Deanne was very saying, hey, spend the money, flaunt it, because, you'll get more customers.
That's what they do at,
they want to get you stuck.
At Mary Kay, they do that too.
They want to get you stuck.
And what that's called, buying everything up front, is called front loading. So if you're buying all your products hoping to offload it onto somebody, that's called front loading. That's what they do in Mary Kay. It's really bad.
Oh, yeah. I did. Listen, I've been invited to all the parties. So I went to a Mary Kay party. And this chick, I bought a few items from her. And she was like, well, would you be interested in, making some extra money and maybe, doing Mary Kay, like what I did? And I was like, I might be interested. Let me hear more. Bitch comes to my house. Tells me she wants me to pay $2,500 and to open up a credit card.
That's what she said?
Yeah, she was like, oh, you could sign, you can fill out this credit card form. They have a deal with Mary Kay. And
stop it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Here's a Mary Kay credit card.
I think it was through Chase or something. And I was like, bitch.
No. No. I think the most I've ever paid for an MLM to start was like $300. And that was, I believe it was Beachbody.
Well, I still slang the Rhodanian Fields. I'm still an active member. And the only thing I paid for was my starter kit. And I got all the products and they were for me to use and or sell if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. When anytime anybody orders something, it's shipped directly to them. I don't have to post anything.
They go online or you don't have to have the shit on hand for them to come and get it. That's the problem. When your business model is you order it and it'll come to you, that's better than
I have to be there to sell it to you.
Right. You have to come to me or I have to come to you and you have to look at what I have. And if I don't have anything you want, then I'm out. Yeah. I'm out some money and you don't get what you want. So that's what's fucked up about a lot of these, because with Mary Kay, you can also order online, but they want you to get it from them because they get the money, the cash in hand.
Yep.
It's insane. I was just like, I would never, if you're telling me to go and donate blood every 6 weeks so you can get the cash to buy into this
more
business.
Products. Jesus.
I can start my own business if I really wanted that. What are you talking about? What? Sell your breast milk? That's for my baby. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's for my baby.
I have to produce more milk to sell? That's mastitis. That's stress. That's freaking no nourishment for my child. What is wrong with you?
It's a shame. It's just okay, all right. So, okay.
That's the one thing I was like, how dare they? How dare you tell somebody, go ahead and sell your breast milk? They were people were literally clawing tooth and nail to try to buy into this business.
Right.
And then, the thing with the spouses, retire your husband, get your husband involved. And yeah, that was another thing that I was just like, really? And then, when stop. You stop, and now he takes over. What are we talking about?
Dude, they touted that thing with the RNF business as well, like the retire husband thing.
I retired my husband. Yeah.
You're making so much money, your husband's not even going to need to work.
Fuck you.
And it's just like, you want me to be so indebted to you or so wrapped up in your company that if I leave, I won't leave because I can't leave.
Yeah.
And
if I do leave, then I'll be like literally drinking my own breast milk.
Right. And I mean, the appeal to this business is, the opportunity to make money, to be in fashion.
Well, to
be a boss babe.
Yeah, be financially independent. I love how they're like, oh yeah, you only have to work for like 4 hours a day.
Bitch, bye.
Or, you set your schedule, you can do 20 hours a week and you'll be making all this money. No, that's not how it works. Because you're working now, your every waking minute is spent on figuring out how to get customers, figuring out how to get products, and trying to solve problems if there is a problem with the product. And it sucks. Mm-hmm. It sucks. You're on freaking, you're
Facebook
bothering
Live.
people trying to get, doing, what do they call them? Online, what do they call them?
Modeling looks.
Yeah, doing online, having people.
Demos.
Yeah, God damn it. What are they called? Online parties. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Doing online parties, trying to get people to buy what you have on hand. And it's
it's a fucking racket, dude. And I mean, if you have like the resources and the friends that are willing to allow you to come into their home and sell and refer you to friends and then eventually buy into the business, that's when the recruiting happens, because the recruiting check is more than sometimes the retail check.
It was always
so the way that
until they changed their model.
I believe what was happening was, if I brought you in, Brandy, I would be your sponsor.
Yeah.
And so I get 5%.
You're my upline.
I'm her upline and sponsor. I think I get 5% off of everything you buy. So off of your buy-in and your retail orders. So when Brandy buys more product, I'm getting 5%. And then it just keeps scaling up from there. Because if Brandy brings on people, I'm getting a taste as well of what she brings on. And I think it goes like down 12 levels. It's like really gross.
Some of them do, yeah.
It's a lot.
Actually, you know what? I said that I had bought into Beachbody. It was actually Wine Decadence.
Okay. Oh yeah, you bought a bunch of wine.
I bought the biggest kit, the biggest starter thing they had, and that was like $800.
Oh my god!
But I got to drink all that wine, so I'm not.
Woo, Brandy, you're nuts.
I wasn't upset about it.
I drank a lot of wine.
I drank all that wine.
It's just like people get sold on the dream and the opportunity to make money if you work hard, but yet you're selling this to me like, oh, I could do this in part-time hours from home and be, present with my children, which you can't.
No,
you have to hustle, you have to work, you have to sell, and if you're spending all this money faking the funk and trying to do social posts and always because of LuLaRoe, and you want me to freaking give you bow down in my post to you and everything like that, because Deanne was just like, how come you didn't hashtag us, and how come you aren't wearing LuLaRoe and you need to post this, you need to post that,
like you have to with her, like I love how with them it's like you have to be wearing something by us. You have to be wearing a product at all times in all your photos online. You need to be wearing LuLaRoe. I forgot what I was about to say. It was something to the effect of
wear the clothes.
No, it was before that.
Posts because of LuLaRoe.
Oh, yes. Okay, so when they were doing the deposition and they had asked her about one specific person who kept making money, and she was like, well, she was holding 16 parties a week.
How do you? Wow.
16 parties a week.
That's impossible.
Unless you're in that kind of circle, the people that I feel like the kind of people that can do 16 parties a week are the people that are surrounded by people that are bored. so bored that they're like, yeah, I'll have a party. Like all these people are like, oh yeah, I'll have a party, I'll have a party, I'll have a party, I'll have a party, I'll have a party. Because that's 16 parties a week. That's like 3 parties a day plus 1.
Almost, yeah.
That's insane. And they last 2 hours. So 2 hours a party. That's 6 hours a day.
How about Deanne was like, and don't bring snacks because they're not going to eat it. I like snacks at parties.
They're not going to eat it. Well, because
they're usually on a diet. But no, I want snacks at the party. I want nums and drinks. I'm there for the appetizers.
Look, we don't have snacks, but we have wine. So get drunk and spend your money.
Cheese and crackers.
Y'all got some snacks you should have ate before you came, bitch. Like, what?
Damn. I'm here for the snacks, though. Like, on the real. If I go to your event, there better be snacks. I'm saying, and it better not just be meat either. I want cheese. I want jams and jellies. I want fruit.
No, you got used to charcuterie. That's why.
I want it.
Before charcuterie, it was literally cheese and crackers. Or like meat and crackers. Cheese, meat, and crackers.
Or,
and that was it.
Or veggie platter.
Or veggie platter or some pretzels. You know, something. Or like a chips and dip.
Yeah.
But now there's charcuterie, and we all want charcuterie.
We do all want charcuterie, and if you come to my home, you will be getting charcuterie. So next week for game night, I'm making charcuterie.
That's fine.
You're coming, right? You and Norman and the baby?
Yeah, we're coming. Okay, so God damn it. What were these boys' names? Jordan, Jason, Johnny. They were assholes, both of them. Her sons. Brady. Their last names were Brady.
I know there was the nephew and then 2 sons. The VP of sales, right? And the ones that were like, we need to not be a MLM.
We need to get away from being an MLM. And then they were like, do you know what an MLM is? He's like, no, I don't. What? Motherfucker, what? Liar? Did you say this? And he's like, no, I don't. And the other one was just, I can't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall. Every answer he gave was, I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall. I'm like, that's a lie.
Ashley Lataha, that was the one that they were like, and then Ashley Lataha came to my house.
Kenny. Okay, so one of them was Kenny Brady. Because I remember, and Jordan and Kenny Brady. Those were the 2 sons that were like, Kenny was the one that was like doing the parties and dancing and was like, you need to do this and blah, 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 blah. Like he was basically like their freaking slave driver almost.
Right.
And he was the one on the phone talking about, on the video call saying we need to get away from it.
Being a pyramid scheme.
A pyramid, yes. And then Jordan was the one that was like, I do not recall. I can't recall. I do not recall. For every question, I do not recall. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, they need to, I honestly, like, I would fucking get a rusty pair of pliers and start pulling his fucking fingernails. Ooh. Because I cannot recall. That's a smug fucking answer that they use to not incriminate themselves. And it's a fucking lie. You know exactly what you did. You know exactly what you said. You know exactly the tactics that you were using. And you're a fucking liar.
I plead the 5th.
Might as well say that.
5th. That is the 5th Amendment, guys. If you didn't know.
In the U.S. For us in the United States, that's the 5th Amendment is the right to not incriminate yourself.
I plead the 5th. Remember Dave Chappelle was like, 5th. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th.
Yeah. That was funny.
Oh, did you watch Dave Chappelle's stand-up?
No.
We'll talk about it later. So, yeah. All the kids were involved. They were doing jobs that they didn't know. Or how about the guy?
They were unqualified for it. Like, literally.
How about all the Google Sheets? That's how they were managing, like, all the pertinent documents and keeping track of stuff. He was like, we were using Google documents, like Google Sheets. He was like, one person would be making an edit, and then I'd have to wait, and then I'd make an edit. And it just sounds
because like, you can watch shit change while you're in Google, in like any Google, sharing. If you're sharing a spreadsheet or a document, you're typing, and then some other asshole is typing above you, and you're like, wait, that's not what, nope, this doesn't make sense. Now we have to go and I remember we did that for one of my journalism classes, my investigative journalism class. Yeah. And the whole class, there was like 20 of us.
Oh my God.
We're all in this document. So at any point, somebody could be just changing shit, and you're like everybody had to keep their own notes, Jesus. And then
give myself a tab, please. But it's like, this is $1 billion company, and this is the stuff you're using.
They're cheap.
But no, Mark was like, I'm sure we paid for all kinds of software that we never used. Like,
okay, but that's not an excuse.
That is not an excuse for not initiating
We bought
it,
it, but we just
or
didn't use
like
it. Okay, well then that makes it even worse.
rolling it out, you're wasting money.
That makes it even worse.
It makes it even worse. So then, right, I guess what happens is people are like, hey, it's too hard to have all these parties. I can't sell all this stuff. I just, put $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 on a credit card or spent our life savings. And I needed an exit strategy here because you just keep spending stuff. Some of these women, they were like, I spent $70,000. I spent this, like they were spending
they spent money,
so
a lot of
much money on these clothes. And then they would come over and the chick that was like, she got like the fart leggings, the one that smelled like farts or something.
It smelled bad, yeah.
Because they were ordering so much products and like couldn't get things shipped out or brought in, and
they had nowhere to store stuff. They were storing stuff outside, and stuff was obviously being stored in the rain, and that's why they would get
moldy
leggings that were soaked and moldy,
wet,
and yes, and probably the storage facilities probably had some fucking leakage issues too.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine why a pair of leggings would smell unless they're in some fucking container that has some fucking what do you call it?
Ventilation.
Thank you.
Ventilation
issues. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for your clothes to stink.
There was a lot of things that they should have and could have taken care of that they just didn't because they were so busy spending money booking fucking Katy Perry and Mario Lopez and stuff for their fucking events.
You know what?
Their parties
That's
and galas.
obnoxious. That's so fucking obnoxious. And you know what's worse is that these celebrities, they'll do whatever they, I'm going to perform. They're paying me, $2
million.
Yeah, I'm going to go perform for this company I know nothing about. What if they're trafficking babies? Like, you need to look into these fucking companies before you go and fucking perform for them. I'm not saying that, at the time, of course, they seem to be on the up and up.
Yeah.
But it's just like, well, they booked us.
$2 million.
Yeah, my agent booked it, or it's just like, come on, guys. Like, it shows you the what they'll do for money and what other people will do for money. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I can't understand you.
I can't understand you.
Like, I don't get it.
I don't understand you. No, it's just really dirty.
Yeah.
So as people are getting funky clothes, quality's bad, people are like, fuck, what are we gonna do?
So then what about the patterns though?
Oh gosh. Okay. So the artist, right? She was producing art with like a gun to her head. They were stealing people's freaking art on the internet.
Off of Google.
They were changing it around a little bit, and then the patterns were like crawling up people's crotches. And
yeah, it was the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it looked like a wiener.
a schlong.
It looked like a dick. There was the burger looked like a vagina.
Yeah.
There was
The bee crawling.
The
in
bee.
someone's crotch.
Yes, the bee. And I'm like, okay, so what were they doing? They were making the leggings and then putting these patterns on, or were they printing the fabric? And then, because
I think they're printing the fabric and then sewing them together.
But the artists weren't sewing them, so it's like you can see what you're doing. If you're sewing, you can see how you're lining this up.
But they were probably using sweatshop labor anyway. So what they remember they had they were getting sued towards the end. They're getting sued, and they were getting sued by a textile company because they all own like Ferraris or something stupid, Maseratis. They were in, like a fucking club together.
Yeah,
and they were making the prints for them, but then they stopped paying them because the quality was like failing. There was a lot of
basically they were probably buying really cheap fucking fabrics.
Yeah.
And but my thing is, if I am sewing together a pair of pants, I'm not going to unless I'm just that kind of bitch
it's a
or
rogue,
asshole, and I'm just like, fuck
a rogue
it.
seamstress.
This bitch is gonna have a bee going up her coochie. You know what I mean? Like, what are we? Yeah, here's a dick right here on the side of your leg.
You're the rogue seamstress, Brandy.
And then I'm making, seams that are ripping in the butthole and all this stuff. Like, what are we talking about? I don't understand. And they probably weren't even paying them right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's when they're like, fuck you.
Like, can you imagine you sew every single piece like that? So everybody who's wearing this pair of leggings, this print of leggings has a bee going up their crotch into the seam of their vagina.
Baby, you're a firework.
I sure am.
How come I didn't get invited to convention and see Katy Perry? I'm putting these damn pants together, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure.
wonder if they even knew who they were selling for, because I mean, who they were, manufacturing.
Because they probably just had like manufacturers in Mexico and you know, in Asia.
It would say made in, all the tags would say made in like a different place.
Yep. Labor. So they offered a buyback policy.
Right.
They were like,
when people were like, we need to get out of this.
Yeah. So they were like, all right, we'll buy all your merch back, whatever, no harm, no foul. So people took their opportunity to get out, but then a lot of people didn't.
They drug their feet. That was like that one lady. She was like, she got depressed. She had
her baby died.
She had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like while she was 6 months. So that's tough.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, she had a miscarriage and she was in a depression, and she was like had already planned to send her shit back, but she just like couldn't will herself to do it because she was in a fucking depression. She had postpartum depression and she had lost a baby. Like that's a double whammy. So yeah, she couldn't, muster up the will to do it. And then once she wanted to do it, they were like, sorry, we've already reneged on our guarantee, because they were like, this
offer won't go away.
Yeah, this what do you call it? This policy will not expire. Mm-hmm. It will be, in place. And then suddenly they're like, well, we changed our mind.
A month later, they lost millions of dollars in like buybacks.
We changed our minds. Sorry.
But I think it's funny that like you said, people were lining up to get started with them. Like there was like months-long lists people had to wait. And so like they had that onboarding department, and they're just bringing in hella money.
Yes, and I wrote it down because like, it showed the amount, like at their peak, they were like at hundreds of thousands of consultants, and then they like dwindled down to like 8,000 when it bottomed out, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I love how, like, as I was watching it, I was like, sign up for LuLaRoe. Guess how much it is to sign up for LuLaRoe right now?
$100.
They would probably have more people if it was $100, but it's $500. So you can go on LuLaRoe and sign up for $500, and they'll send you a bunch of shit that's going to fall apart in 2 days.
They'll send you 50 pairs of leggings, 50 items, instead of making you fucking buy 400. They're like, let's just start you off with 50 and see how you do. And then like to see when they did get all their products, like all the boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like, it's overwhelming.
I can imagine how exciting it is, like when you first get it, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Box after box after box of clothing items. And like, because they had, at one point, they had the like 3 different styles of dresses, like 6 or 7.
I have two of the dresses.
Yeah, they had like 6 or 7 styles of tops.
Yeah.
They only had leggings for like pants, but then they had like the maxi skirts.
And then they had the kids' clothes too. Like you and your kids could wear like matching.
There were no men's clothes though, and then they got like 2 different types of men's shirts. Mm-hmm. Which I was like,
Little bro's not doing it.
Yeah.
LuLaRoe ain't doing it. No, I mean, they are still around, but they did get sued up the ass for lots of different things.
I think they're still being sued.
In litigation, because in the documentary, like, their attitude sucks when they're being, like interviewed or questioned.
Yeah, they're real smug. And they're like...
They're like, who created the comp plan? I don't know. It was you, bitch. You're the one that said you wanted to incentivize these people for training, and so you're giving them money.
The whole thing that sucks about the MLMs is that, like, if you're not one of the first, like, 10 people to get in when it begins, you aren't making the type of money they say that you can make.
Yeah.
And if you are making, like, if you're making 5 figures a year, you're busting your ass. Mm-hmm. And you maybe have a couple of people under you. But that asshole at the top has hundreds of people, because the first 2 people that she brought in under her now have all these people, and it just goes branches, down. Yeah. And then, the problem is that the market gets saturated. You have a consultant, every other house, there's a fucking consultant for your thing.
All these Avon and Mary Kay ladies.
Yeah. And so now, especially if you're in one of those communities where, like, you're recruiting at your PTA.
Oh, shit.
Everybody there is already LuLaRoe.
I already sell Scentsy. Everybody sells Scentsy.
Yeah. So now, okay, where do I go? Now I need a new pool. So you better join your church community. Oh, well, they already have 3 Scentsy ladies there. So that pool's already, tainted. Where are you going to go? Your husband's job? Like, come on. You gotta, these types of things are, and then they're like, oh yeah, make a list of all your friends, your families, the people you know at your kids' school, the people you know, and it's like, I hate that. I hate those, make a list of all these people you know. No! The people I know don't want your shit! That's why I need to go somewhere else. How do I get strangers, not people that I know?
How do I get strangers?
I've already bothered my family members. They don't want it. They don't want to join.
Come on, don't you want some
people? They had people stop talking to them. People will stop talking to you because you won't leave them alone about your business.
You're right, dude. I made that list. They're like, make it of 100 people, and they're like, keep this list, and I did. And like when I started with Rodan Fields, I was super hype, and I was just like really into like. I still use the products. Don't get me wrong; they work. But I'm not really into hounding people about having parties and their skin. And, people will reach out to me. Hey, are you still doing that? Yeah. Okay, let's talk. All right, cool. But I'm not going to stalk you about it.
Yeah. I had when after the wine decadence went bust, I had a couple of people like, hey, are you still doing that wine thing? I was like, no, they went out of business. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Because I feel like for every MLM, there's always something. And then when the new thing comes on, I said like 17 times just now.
I'm going to delete them.
There's always a gimmick. There was, after LuLaRoe, I don't even know if it was really after LuLaRoe, there was a bunch of other clothing companies that came out. Leggings companies.
One was specifically called Buttery Soft Leggings. Because I bought some. That was their name.
Yeah, see, like, LuLaRoe selling leggings, let's get into the leggings. People want leggings. Leggings are hot right now. Let's do leggings.
Yeah.
Then they'll like branch out into something else.
Or like the nail
jewelry.
Ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cookie Lee, Park Lane.
Yeah.
But then I like the nail ones. Those were fun for a minute. Like,
Yeah, because who doesn't like doing their nails? But then it's like,
that shit don't come off, and I have to use this dryer, and I got to do this.
You have to buy the extra shit, with the I liked the Street Color Street because it's actual fingernail polish, but trying to get that shit off your fingernails, it says you can take it off with fingernail polish remover. No. Yeah, but you have to soak your fingers in it for a while. Like, it's basically like taking off acrylics. So, there's always
something.
A gimmick. I enjoy the Scentsy, but now there's so many freaking other QB wax melts. You can get some at Walmart, and they're like, well, ours lasts longer. Our scents last longer. No, they last about the same.
They do last about the same, but one thing with Scentsy, I've been buying their cleaning spray. They have a counter clean, like to clean your counters. Mm-hmm. It smells really good. I've spent like $30 on 3 bottles. Like I have a Scentsy girl. I'm like, hey, I need to get some more of that counter clean.
I think my Scentsy girl is gone. It was
There's so many people in the Roseman group, girl. I'll hook you up, whatever you need.
When the bring back my bar comes, the Southern Evening is my favorite scent, and they don't have it. They only have it when it's bring back my bar or whatever, and I'm like, I need.
Yeah. Okay. Back on topic. LuLaRoe.
There's so many MLMs. I wonder, are MLMs legal in other countries? Because it would seem like, because there's this pyramid law, maybe they're not legal in other countries. I don't know what the laws are, but are they legal in Australia? I feel like they're not. I don't think they can do MLMs in other countries, for real, though.
I don't know. I think some countries probably...
They're like,
they've
no.
never even come across it or never had to, like, deal with it.
I think they're like, no, we don't want that here.
Get that bullshit out of here.
Because they have higher... It's funny how they have higher standards and laws for certain things to protect consumers, and then in other areas, it's like, fuck them.
Yeah. Fucking girl.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
And that's for all countries, because in certain areas in this country, we're like, no, we can't do that. And then it's like, fuck them for other shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we talking about? How come we all can't just get on the same fucking page?
Let's get on the same fucking page.
Oh, what? No, because then that's communism or whatever. I don't know.
I'm going to say that LuLaRoe didn't intend for this to happen, but they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and it happened.
I feel like at some point, they were like, they knew they were fucking up, and they just stopped caring.
Yeah, they were just like, meh.
Because at some point, when you're getting complaints, because remember, it was like, you can't badmouth the company.
Oh,
you can't say
and then they
anything
would
bad
like, anytime someone left, they'd be like, don't talk to them ever again.
Right, and then people would be posting questions on their social page, and they would delete the questions.
Yeah.
Questions like, why are my pants tearing up? How do I get a replacement pair? Blah, 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 and they would just delete the questions instead of answering them.
I don't have time to answer your stupid questions. Go check out our FAQ. Okay.
And then they kicked a couple of people out. They were like, sorry, you're no longer, you're no longer can be affiliated with us or whatever.
Damn, I felt bad for the lady who bought the 2 cars. The one with the LuLaBro, the one that was charging up her credit cards. Because when she finally decided to leave, it was too late. She couldn't sell back her stuff. And she was in so much debt. And then her marriage broke up.
Oh,
and,
the one, okay.
And she was like, she eats cheese and crackers
when
at
her
dinner.
kids, yeah, when her kids come, when her kids are with their dad, she eats cheese and crackers to save money. Yes.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Right. And then there was the couple, remember the couple that was like, there was a massive email that went out that said that they had let go of a certain, and she was like, was it you? Was it you? Was it you?
Who is
and then they get the message 5 hours later that it's them.
That's so fucked up. And those people were Mormon also.
LDS.
I'm sorry, LDS. It was messed up. It's there's shit out there.
It's a cult. Literally, MLMs, a lot of them are like cults. You must buy into the propaganda. You must believe the message. You must like fucking NXIVM. NXIVM was an MLM and a fucking cult. It was a sex cult.
Have you guys heard our NXIVM episode?
It's weird,
dude.
I am sorry, but I am not getting in that deep with like the culture or the
lifestyle,
the idea, the ideal. What do they call it? Ideal. To the point where everybody that I associate with is involved in this.
It's weird.
I'm bringing in my kids and my parents and my cousins and my uncles and my nephews and all that. I'm bringing all my family members into this one business. That's creating competition for me. What the fuck are you talking about?
But you're making me money too. Now get out there and make that money for mama.
So nasty.
It's a dirty, dirty, dirty business, and they're still at it, and I'm sure they're still making a shit ton of money, but they've just switched things up. Like, one of those women on there were like, LuLaRoe changed my life. I was like, I only had $5. Now I have my home. Yeah. And for certain people, it may work, but she was like, I'm the only brown chick around. But it's just, you just got to be careful, like, how you play these things.
I thought it was funny how the only African-American woman on the thing was like, they was doing some shit.
For real.
She was like, They knew what they was doing.
The one with the braces?
I enjoyed her. Yeah.
Well, she was like, yes, this is Chanel.
They were like, is that LuLaRoe? No, this is Chanel.
And she was like, we'll go put on some LuLaRoe, bitch. And she was like, oh, you must be Deanne. Okay, got it. But she was saying, like, she was in the onboarding department first, and they were bringing in millions, and then she joined LuLaRoe and was slanging pants as well. It's gross.
I just thought it was funny because she was like, they invited me to the retreat, but I didn't go. She was like, no, it was the boat. She was like, I didn't go. She's like, I can't swim, and I'd be on a boat with a whole bunch of white people. No, I'm good.
Thank you for the invite, though.
Yes.
Oh man, it's interesting. It's a good time. Something to watch to kind of just know that this shit is still going on out there, man. Got to be careful.
And it's not just LuLaRoe, but it doesn't. What happened in LuLaRoe doesn't happen with a lot of other MLMs where you're getting shit product and they're basically shutting you down because you're complaining about the product.
Right, because they were just really like running that with an iron fist, they were
tyrants.
So we just wanted to do something special for you guys, patrons. You have anything else to say about this shenanigans?
How about she was telling them go get freaking weight loss surgery?
Oh, yeah. Just come with me to Mexico. We're going to go ahead and get this done. But her shit backfired, right? Because now she's thick again.
The one... Oh, yeah. The Deanne.
Yeah.
She was super... Like, she was like a
She
stick.
looks sick.
And now she looks like a woman her age looks.
Yeah.
She's not like super overweight, but she looks like an average, woman in her 60s looks.
No, she looked real sick. Like,
yeah,
her hair looked thin.
Yeah.
Her face was just like...
She probably realized I need to
dying.
eat some pizzas and some burgers.
You want to share a salad?
What the hell? That was stupid. She was like, yeah, we share salad because we got the surgery. Okay. Well... And then the chick that lost all her, her family, and she was like, I guess I won't be eating tonight. She's like, she felt bad for.
She was like, I'll just have some Brussels sprouts. She said,
like, no, ma'am.
Or she was like, oh yeah, one time she spent like $10,000 on dinner. I would have shit all
and put it on a credit card.
I would have shit and left.
Why would you even do that?
I'm like, okay, we split this up. How many of us are there? 20 people. Okay, let's go ahead.
Pay for your own meals.
Fuck you guys.
We're not. I'll have water with lemon, please.
I ain't got it. Look at this.
But that's what they were doing. They were like hosting gatherings and then paying with credit cards. Listen.
It was a dinner. It wasn't even a gathering. It wasn't even a party. It was a dinner.
Insane how, and it was probably for her team.
Her team, I'm sure.
It was probably for her team because, of course, you gotta pretend. You show them that you're doing it,
Fake
and
the funk,
you're
baby.
making the money and
Fake the funk.
It's awful. It's so awful. Awful.
Don't do it. If someone's like, spend it, baby, spend it. Put it in the bank and tell them you spent it.
Okay. No, because you have to have a car. You have to
Bitch,
have that car.
bye.
Where's your Lamborghini?
We got matching Louis Vuitton bags, remember? She was like, I know somebody who made like, blah, blah, blah this month, and we bought matching Louis Vuitton bags.
How about I paid for my kids' braces? Mm-hmm. I'm paying for my child's college.
Why did that lady still have braces on?
Because some people get braces as adults.
I'm just saying, like, it was at least like 4 years she had them braces on. Because she was involved, like, she said she came on in like 2016, and then now it's 2021, and she still has braces.
She had the braces when she started?
Yeah. She was like, I joined LuLaRoe, y'all. And she had them braces. She was like,
Oh, I didn't.
Braces.
I wasn't looking in her mouth like that.
I was. I look at people's mouths and their hair. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, you're one of those people that talks to people's hair.
I do talk to people's hair. And they're like, is there something wrong with my hair?
Like, what?
No.
Is there something on my face?
I just can't make direct eye contact, so I'm just going to talk to your hair.
Maybe you should back up a little bit.
Back away. All right. Guys, thank you for being patrons. And thank you for being here and listening to this special episode that we have for you guys. We hope you are well. 2021 is coming to an end. Hey, so I'm Sunny Upburn.
And I'm Brandy Flakes.
And this was Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's Bolt Bitches. You know we didn't do an intro.
I know, it's a Patreon episode.
We are Wendy and Beth, and we host the podcast Fruitloops Serial Killers of Color. Tell the people about the show, Wendy.
Well, happy to. As you might have guessed by now, our show focuses on serial killers of color. We decided to make this the focus of our show because most of the podcasts that we listen to focused on whole white serial killers, also male, cisgender, hetero serial killers. And we thought the space could use a little spice, a little diversity.
Yeah, and we believe that the victim stories are important. Many of the victims are also BIPOC folks, and the media just doesn't focus on these people.
We also get plenty of opportunities to discuss race relations, systemic oppression, policing, history, and culture. We learn something new every day, and we hope that you do too.
Join us as we tell the fascinating stories of these crimes that often go untold by the mainstream media. Subscribe or download Fruit Loops Serial Killers of Color now on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Look alive, y'all. It's crazy out there.